All right. Good morning. I think I'm live. This is brand new software that I am using. So I am trying to figure this out. So I'm a little nervous. If I am live, if you can hear me, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up or a comment. Let me know you're here. Post a comment because I think I can see those over here. I'm seeing some likes rolling in, so that's good. Okay, perfect. I am super excited to be with you. I am Coach Travis Robertson, and we're going to do something a little special today, and we're going to have some fun. And I'm going to talk with you about my predictions for the market and ultimately your business for 2019. Okay, cool. I'm seeing the likes rolling in. I'm seeing the right-ons. I'm on like a 10-second delay. So I don't know if that's because I might drop an F-bomb or something or whatever it is, but they've got me on a delay. So they're probably monitoring the feed. So I'm seeing the likes. Thank you guys. Keep them rolling in. Keep the comments rolling in because we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be talking about today, my predictions for your business and the market in 2019. And the reason this all came up is because a few weeks back, I was sitting down just kind of taking a look at what people were saying. And I was listening to comments online and Facebook messages and posts and questions that were coming up in different groups. And I noticed a common thread. And there is a lot of anxiety around what 2019 is going to hold, what the 2019 market is going to look like, and what that will ultimately mean for your business. And I sat down and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna invest some time into really taking a look at where the market is headed, where the businesses are headed, and really help our clients prepare. Because this is something that as you're looking ahead to 2019 and you're prepping your business plan, if you haven't done that already, which you should have, but if you're kind of figuring out like what changes am I going to make? How am I going to prepare for that? I wanted to sit down and I kind of wrote out some ideas and I wanted to share those with you. And these are my predictions for 2019. And as I went back through them, I'm like 1,000% positive that every single one of these will come to fruition. Every single one of these is guaranteed to happen. And I know that sounds like a bold claim, but I'm here to tell you that every single one of these, and I'm looking at them right here, so I've got them up on my screen, but 1,000% positive that every single one of my predictions, and there's 10 that I'm going to share with you, every single one of them will come true. Okay. So here, let me, wow, I've got like, software is like nuts. It's like blowing up over here. So let me do this, close that down. Cool. So here we go. Prediction number one for 2019 is this. No matter what the market does, whether it's up or whether it's down, heck, if we go into a market recession, no matter what the market does, please write this down. Homes will still sell. Homes will still sell. And too many people are running around as if a recession means they will not sell anything, as if a market downturn means I'm all of a sudden going to go broke. Now, maybe that is your case because of how you've structured your business and set it up, but we'll talk about that in just a second. But here's what I can tell you. Our clients, believe it or not, are actually looking forward to the next market pullback. Not that they're cheering it on, not that they're trying to create that, but they understand that in a down market, in a pullback market, whether that happens in 2019 or 2020 or 2030, it doesn't matter. It will happen again. What they understand is that is the time when you capture market share. A down market is when you capture market share. More millionaires, more successful businesses are started in a downturn or grown in a downturn than they are in a good market. Because in a downturn, every single one of your competitors is running around freaking the heck. I almost swore. I'm trying to do so much better on the swearing, guys. I really am. So every single one of your competitors in a down market is freaking out. And that gives you the opportunity, if you're prepped for it, to actually grow your business. Our clients doubled and tripled and quadrupled in the last downturn. They had some of their best years in their business up to that point in the downturn. And we showed them how to do that. And so a market downturn is not a bad thing. It's just a different thing. And so no matter what happens in 2019 with the market, which nobody can predict, not the chief economist of NAR, not anybody else, what I'm here to tell you is that no matter what happens, homes will still sell. The question is, are you the one selling them? That's the only question that matters. And you can be, and I'll show you how as we move forward here. All right, so prediction number one, no matter what the market does, homes will still sell. Number two, 10% of agents will continue to control about 90% of your market. 10% of agents will continue to control about 90% of your market. That means that 90% of agents are going to still be fighting over the scraps that are left behind by the top 10%. Now, here's the key. You get to choose which group you're going to be a part of. And next year, no matter what the market does, you still have a choice. Am I going to be in the 10% controlling the market, or am I going to be in the 90% fighting over the scraps? It's your choice. It's your choice. And if you don't choose right now in this moment to decide, I am going to be in that top 10% no matter what happens, up market, down market, sideways market, flat market, sky is falling market, doesn't freaking matter. It's your choice. And here's what I can tell you. In a down market, that top 10% does really, really well. Really well. So do you want to be in that top 10%? Because they are still going to control 90% of the market and you get to choose. So right now, type in the chat if you are committed. Say, I am committed to being in the 10%. If you're committed to being in the 10% in your market, punch it into the chat, because it doesn't matter if you're 10% nationwide. By the way, if you're in the top 10% in your market, you're actually going to be in the top 1% to 2% of the industry worldwide. So think about that for just a second. So are you committed? If you're a 10%er, punch in, I'm committed to being a 10%er. Or I love what Michelle 10%er. I love it. Put that in there, 10%. That's a choice you get to make, because no matter what happens, you're still going to be in control of the market. And that's when you can sit back and be like, bring it on, baby. That just means my competitors are dropping out like flies. And I get to make more money and I get to have more fun. So a down market's an opportunity. An up market's an opportunity too. It's not that we don't love the up market. I love all these commitments here. Fantastic, you guys. Number three, prediction number three. And this is key. Agents, and this, by the way, this is key to getting in that 10% and staying in that top 10%. And for most of you, it's actually key to getting in the top 1% to 2% of your market, which that's really where the real fun happens, is when you're in that top 1% to 2%. Whew, life changes, baby. All right, so here's what I can tell you, is that if you want to be there, here's what it's going to take in 2019. Without fail, I can promise you this. Guaranteed. Agents who know how to control their lead flow will be the ones who lead the market. Prediction number three, agents who know how to control their lead flow will be the ones who lead their market. Now, what do I mean by that? It means, do you have a volume knob on your lead flow? Can you wake up today and know exactly how many leads you're going to get within one or two? Or do you wake up today going, please send a lead, please send a lead, please ring. I hope somebody refers me out today. I hope somebody, oh man, I sure hope I get a sign call. If you're waking up every day hoping and praying that your phone rings, hoping and praying that somebody fills out a form, hoping and praying that somebody emails you, hoping and praying you get a sign call, you are not in control of your lead flow. And in 2019, you are going to be hosed. Absolutely guaranteed hosed. The world is controlled. The market, the industry is controlled by the people who control their lead flow. Please write this down. If you want consistent, predictable income, you must have consistent, predictable lead flow. You must have a volume knob for your leads, meaning that if I need leads, I can turn them on. If I need less leads, I can turn them off. I wake up every day and I know approximately within a range how many new opportunities we're going to get in a given day. I know. because we have a volume knob on our business. The question is, do you? Because in 2019, that volume knob is going to be absolutely fundamentally critical. And the agents in that top 10%, especially, by the way, in a shifting market, especially in a pullback market, if that's what hits in 2019, only the agents who control their lead flow, who have that volume knob, will actually survive a shift. Only the agents with a volume knob will survive a shift, which leads me to prediction number 4. And oh man, this is going to piss some people off. Prediction number 4. Buckle up, guys, because I'm about to slaughter another sacred cow. Having more than 60% of your business, 70% of your business max from repeat, referral, and sphere of influence is a danger zone. It will kill you in a shifting market. Having any more than 60, that's even on the high side. And if you have a team, that number needs to be way less than 50. But if you get 60 to 70% of your lead flow from repeat referral, you're on the edge. If you get any more than 70% of your business from repeat referral, past clients, sphere of influence, you're in trouble. You are absolutely in trouble moving forward. And here's why. Remember that volume knob? You cannot control repeat and referral business. And this is the dirty little secret about everybody who runs around preaching repeat referral, sphere of influence. Get all your business from sphere of influence. The problem with that is real estate is the only industry that thinks that's a good idea. Do you realize in all of the world, there is only one industry that preaches that? Well, actually, that's not true. Two do, but in both cases, both people don't make money. Network marketers and real estate agents. Those are the only ones. Every other industry understands that we love repeat referral. We want repeat referral. We're going to get as much of it as we can. We're going to work our sphere of influence as much as we can. But the volume knob comes from lead generation sources we control. You can only influence your sphere of influence. You cannot control it. You cannot force somebody to send you business. You cannot force somebody to use you again. You cannot force somebody to refer you out to a buddy. You can influence it. You can do your best, but ultimately it's their choice. Versus if I control my lead flow, if I have the volume knob, I love repeat referral. I love when our clients refer us. And they do. But what we understand is that that's the cherry on top. That is not where we depend. We don't depend on that. We love it. And in real estate, if you are still depending on sphere of influence, the goodwill of others, in a shifting market, you're hosed. Because in a down market, by the way, you know the first bit of business to dry up? Repeat, referral, and sphere of influence. Your sphere is the first source of business that will dry up in a down market. How do I know? Because in 2008, 2009, 2010, and most of 2011, it dried up for most agents. And the only agents who survived were the agents who know how to go out, kill something, drag it home, throw it on the grill, and feed it to the family. The question is, can you wake up every day, turn the volume knob on in your business if you need to? Now, people hear me say this and they go, oh my gosh, should I turn away some of my repeat referral? No, freaking no, don't do that. I'm not saying do less repeat referral. I'm saying do more from sources you control, where you know that for every dollar invested, you get money back. And the reason so many coaches run around teaching you the fallacy of repeat referral sphere of influence business is because it plays to your fear. They are keeping you inside of your comfort zone. Oh, well, if you only talk to people you know, it's safe. You'll never get rejected. Your family loves you. Their friends love you. They want to hear from you. It's mildly true. Some of your family doesn't like you. But the point being in all of this, that they're selling you something that they know doesn't work, that they don't practice in their own business. And that's interesting, isn't it? Not a single coach who preaches repeat referral, by referral only, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Not a single one of those people depends primarily on repeat and referral. Interesting. So what they're doing is they're selling you something that is not bad, inherently. It's that on its own, it is limited and it will hurt you and it will. But the reason it's so easy to sell is because that's what everybody hopes is true. I'm not here to blow smoke up your bum. I care about you too much to lie to you. I don't care if your feelings are hurt. I don't care if I offend you. It doesn't bother me. My life goes on. I care more that you understand how to survive, and not just survive, thrive in what's coming. Whether it's in 2019, 2020, or beyond, I'm telling you right now, if you get more than 60 to 70% of your business from repeat referral, you are in trouble, and it will hurt you in 2019. All right. So some of you, I like the viewer numbers are going up on this one, which is good. I was like, this might be the one where everybody drops off, but I love that you guys are still here. If you understand what I'm talking about, post in the chat. Post in the chat if you understand, or post a comment that says that you are committed to getting that volume knob for your business. If you're committed to getting that volume knob for your business, punch it into the chat. Let me know that you are all in on getting that volume knob. All right. So number 5. Here we go. Number 5, prediction number 5. The money will still be in the follow-up. And you're probably like, well, duh. But here's what's happening. Right now, too many agents are trying to outsource. Look, I love all this rolling in. Love it. Committed. Yes. Tony, awesome. Michelle, Lee, Leslie, Ashley, Chad, Julianne, I love it. Love it. Love it. Jane, fantastic. Love seeing all this rolling in. So here's the point. Too many agents are trying to outsource the follow-up. Too many agents are trying to offload the follow-up. They're trying to offload the hard work. And I can tell you, it's easy, it's simple, but it's not easy. I always mess up that easy, simple thing. It's simple, but it's not easy. And the money is still in the follow-up. And the more you try and automate it, the more you try and drip your way to success, the less success you will have. The money is still in the follow-up. You can have the volume knob for the leads. We talk to people all the time. We're like, man, I get a lot of leads. And we're like, what do you do with it? And they're like, oh, I call them and they never call me back. Online leads suck. And it's like, no, online leads don't suck. Your follow-up sucks. Your systems suck. Your follow-through sucks. The way that you're handling your people sucks. And it's not that you have to be perfect. It's that you need to be better. It's that you really need to look at this and understand that the leads on their own aren't going to convert themselves. The opportunities don't sell themselves. The opportunities don't close themselves. People don't just raise their hand under most circumstances and be like, hey, I just found you on Zillow. Can you come over and list my house? We're not going to talk to any other realtors. And we just love for you. Like, just bring the paperwork. We got the keys ready to go. Like, it's all yours if you want it. It doesn't work that way. It's about bringing value. It's about building the follow-up. It's about building the systems that allow you to convert at a higher level. It's why our clients are converting their online leads at anywhere between 4 to 10%. And we're not talking like they get 10 leads a month. We're talking they're getting hundreds of leads a month. Hundreds of leads a month. And they're converting them at 4 to 10%. How are they doing that? They understand the value of follow-up. That's where the money is. So look at your processes, look at your systems in 2018, because if your 2018 was not where you want it to be, if your 2017, 2016, and going back, if you're in a rut, the good chance is that your follow-up is not where it needs to be. Because the money's not in the leads, it's in the follow-up. Leads are just names, numbers, and email addresses. It's what you do with those things that determine whether you're going to win. And if you're just trying to outsource it, and I hear this all the time, well, what CRM offers the best follow-up plan? None of them. They all suck. They're terrible. How about you put one in place that works for you and for your clients? You've got to get really committed and dedicated to the follow-up and follow-through on your business, because the money will still be in the follow-up. Number 6. This is becoming even more and more apparent. And in 2019, it's done, which is this. Sales scripts that are ripped from the 80s and the 90s and sadly are still being used today will no longer work in 2019. They will no longer work. They're almost not working now, but I'm predicting the death of this crap. There are too many people who are still using sales tactics that were, the Glengarry, Glen Ross, boiler room, always be closing, coffees for closers, pound them and ground them until they submit and buy. And you put three people or you put a person in the car, you show them 3 homes. And if they don't buy, you kick their ass out of the car and you move on. And it's like, hold on for just a second. We're talking about human relationships here for just a moment. Understand that there is a person on the other side of your phone call. There's a person on the other side of your email. There's a person on the other end of your text message. There's a person on the other end of the video that you record. There's a person on the other end. And they're far too savvy to put up with being bullied. And too many agents are running around with bully scripts and bully templates and bully tactics that were developed in the 80s and 90s before social media and before Facebook and before we were connected. And they wonder why it's not working. And everything's about trying to close them and angle them into like objection handling and all of this stuff. And it's like, wait a minute. What if we just understand that an objection is just a fear? It's a doubt. And our job is not to handle their objection. Our job is to really help them understand and get over a fear or an insecurity or a doubt and realize that this is a human relationship. And if we're still using tactics and scripts and strategies that are so bullcrap and so obviously seen through, like knocking on somebody's house and going, oh, wait a minute, was this house for sale? What? Come on now. Consumers are way too savvy. They're way too smart for that stuff. Instead, if you come from a place of service and a desire to help your fellow human being, you are going to win far better in 2019. And by the way, if the market turns, if the market pulls back, the fear escalates in the client, which means the bully tactics work less. Instead, what works more is a strength and an understanding and how to help people over their fear, their doubts, their insecurities. And so if you're still using scripts and tactics from a system in the 80s or 90s, I got news for you. You're hosed. You're screwed moving forward. Those things do not work anymore. Number seven. Prediction number 7, and this is key. Video will still be a huge opportunity for you to separate yourself from your competitors with a caveat here. The window is closing. And I think 2019 might be the year that it's no longer the differentiator after 2019. More and more, and I predicted this 6 years ago, guys. 6 years ago, you can go back to the tapes, like there were tapes. You can go back to the recordings. There are recordings of me talking about the importance of video 5-6 years ago and saying, guys, 5 years. You have 5 years to make the most of this. And we are hitting that year when video, people are no longer scared of it. They're no longer, some people are, but now is your opportunity to get in. This is probably going to be, if not is going to be, the last year where video is a major distinction between you and your competitors. And if you're sitting on the sidelines after 2019, you're going to be in trouble, because 2019 is going to be the year where a lot more people get into video. A lot more of your competitors are starting to wade into those waters, which means if you wait, they're starting to get good over the next year. And then in 2020, 2021, what's going to happen is you're going to be like, oh crap, I guess I got to get in now. But you're going to look like an amateur after they've developed the skill set to become pros at it, or much better than amateur. But when they get in, everybody looks like an amateur. So right now, when you get in, you are going to look like an amateur. Just get over it. Suck it up, Buttercup. You're going to look like an amateur. But what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to be compared to anybody else. And so as you do this, everybody's like, oh, wow, cool. My realtor sent me a video. Isn't that awesome? After 2019, they're going to be like, oh, wow, another video. Who did it better? And so 2019 is I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is a bold one. I think 2019 is your last year to get in and be okay looking like an amateur. And so if you're not using platforms like BombBomb, if you're not using Facebook Lives, if you're not, and by the way, people are going to ask like, what platform are you on? Ecamm Live, ECAMM Live is what we're using right now. We tried another platform. It was really dodgy. So we're like, let's move off of that. So we're on Ecamm Live right now. This is what we're using. It's a little bit more complicated. I was a little fearful when we went live, but the idea is that this is your chance in 2019 to get good at video. You don't do it now and you're in trouble in 2020. This is your last year. Going out on a limb here. Bold prediction. 2019 is your last year to look like an amateur in video and be okay. And actually do really well. You can be an amateur in video and do really well in this market. 2020, not so much. So get in to video now. This is your chance. Number 8. Prediction number 8. The CRM you choose will still not be as important as what you do with the CRM that you choose. The database platform you choose does not matter as much as what you do with it. We have clients that do really well on Top Producer. Don't understand it, not a fan of the platform, but they do really well on it. God bless them. I don't care. We have clients that are on, Chime, which is, I think, one of the best, if not the best platform out there. Chime's a phenomenal platform, but it doesn't matter. We have clients that are on Contactually, which is a great platform. We have clients that are on, pick a platform. It doesn't matter. It's what you do with it that matters more than the platform. And too many people are running around thinking they have a CRM problem when what they have is a personal problem. They have a leadership problem. They have a motivation problem. They have a discipline problem. They have a dedication problem. They don't have a CRM problem. And yet we're so quick to blame technology for our own failures in leadership, our own failures in commitment, our own failures in focus. Your problem is not your CRM. Your problem is that you aren't executing with whatever you've got. I don't care what platform you use. I care that you use it. Stop looking for technology to solve your problems in your business. It won't. And right now there's new CRMs rolling around like crazy. Every coach and their mother's like, oh, I'm going to build a CRM platform. Sorry, been there, done that. I came from the software development world. Not a good plan. Let the CRM developers be the CRM developers. And instead, you focus on your business. Your CRM does not matter as much as what you do with the CRM you choose. That's it. Number 9. This is a big one. This is critical, you guys. And I need to caveat this. What I'm going to say does not mean that it's going to be right for everyone, but I need you to understand the importance of this in 2019 and beyond. Because we're not going back to a world that existed 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. That world is gone. So what I'm about to tell you may not be for everyone, but you do need to understand the impact of how it's going to, or the way it's going to impact your business in 2019 and beyond if you choose not to go this route. So here's prediction number 9. Teams will become extremely important in 2019 and then beyond. We live in a world where the consumer is more educated, more demanding, more expecting of speed, of quality, of service, of everything that a solo agent can no longer provide at the same level as a well-structured team. A well-structured team will always outperform an individual. Always. Because an individual is limited. They are limited in time. They are limited in resources. They are limited in skill set. They're limited in focus. They're limited, much more limited than a team is. And so in a world that is becoming more and more demanding, in a market that is moving faster and faster, teams are becoming more and more important. But 2019 is the year that I believe that if you don't have a team, you are going to find it harder than you ever have before to compete with the teams that are forming in your marketplace. Now, a poorly structured team is not a good thing. I'm not saying just go out and cobble together this hot mess of a cluster of a team. I'm saying that a well-structured team is what you're looking for. But this is why solo agents right now in today's market are running around bragging about the fact that they work 7 days a week. Like, oh, I work 7 days a week. I'm always on for my clients. And they say that like it's an awesome thing. I hear that and go, you're an idiot, because that's where burnout happens. That's where exhaustion happens. Or they go, you know what? I'm going on vacation, man. Then they get on a beach and they kick their feet up, right? How many, and I'm not going to call you out if you've done this, but I want, how many of you, and I'm going to want you to type this into the chat. How many of you have seen your friends? Maybe you've done this. If you have, you can admit to it if you want to, but you've at least seen your friends who are like, oh man, going to Bora Bora or wherever fancy location they're going. And they get there, and the first thing they do is they go to the beach, they get a lounge chair, they get their laptop out, they get a Mai Tai, and then position the Mai Tai so that you can kind of see it in the view. They get this incredible view behind them. And then what do? They get their phone and they take a photo of it with their laptop, the Mai Tai, the beach back there, and they go, hashtag closed another one, hashtag amazing. And I'm like, hashtag idiot. You're a moron. You just paid thousands of dollars to go work from an exotic location. I love you too much to let you waste your money working from exotic locations. If you've ever seen that, punch it in to the chat. Maybe you've been there and you're like, I don't want to do that again. I'm tired. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Back when internet cafes were still a thing and Europe didn't have really good internet service, we took a trip to Europe and I was like hopping from internet cafe to internet cafe just to stay connected to our office, just to stay connected to my team, just to keep things moving forward. I spent a lot of money to go work from Europe. I was like, wait, I could do this from home. Why on earth am I in Italy? Why on earth am I in Paris? Why looking for internet cafes? It was like a turning point for me. I'm going, this is stupid. And so if you've been there, don't go back there. Build a team. A team moving forward is always going to outperform an individual. Now, that does not mean everybody should build a team. What that does mean is that if you should be a person and you're ready to lead and you're ready to step up to build a team, then you need to strongly consider 2019 as the year you get it started. If you're not ready, you need to do what it's going to take to get your business there so that you can step into it. And if you decide that you're not a good team leader, but you would make a great number 2 on a team or a great, leader on a team, then you might really strongly consider going and partnering or getting involved in a team and being the best number 2 on that team where you can make great money, you can serve clients more effectively. But if you're going to stay solo, you need to understand something. You're going to be at a disadvantage in 2019 and beyond. It's going to get harder and harder and harder for the solo agent to compete. Now, I don't believe everybody needs a big team. I believe that some of the most successful teams are what I call the Holy Trinity: team leader, buyer's agent, kick butt assistant. That Holy Trinity sometimes is the most powerful, profitable team structure. A team is just you and one other person working towards a common outcome. So if you get an incredible administrative coordinator who's licensed, who crushes it at what they do, and you focus more on your clients, you're in a better position. 2 people are better than 1. I'm not saying it's got to be a big team, but this is the year you strongly need to consider getting help. It is not a badge of honor to work until 11 o'clock at night in bed answering emails. There are a lot more things that I would prefer you doing at 11 o'clock in bed at night rather than answering email. 3 letters, starts with an S, ends with an EX, is way more fun than Gmail at 11 o'clock in bed at night. So go have sex, stop answering your email. But in order to do that, you got to get the team and the systems and the people in place to be able to do it. And this is the year I think it's going to become more and more critical. So, final prediction, number 10, and this is the biggest one. This is absolutely the biggest prediction. It's also the one that's going to be the hardest for people. It's going to be the one that is the absolute hardest for people. And we see it. It always is. It is always the hardest one to understand. Because everybody focuses over, where's the camera? Over here instead of over here. and you need to be focused over here, but everybody's focused on this. And so what I'm about to tell you is going to be absolutely critical for you to understand. So please write this down. Who shows up? Who shows up to run your business and pursue your goals will still be more important than how you plan to achieve your goals. Let me repeat that. Who shows up to run your business and achieve your goals will still be more important than how you plan to achieve your goals. Everybody wants the how. Please understand, please write this down. The how can be Googled. If your question begins with the word, how do I do this? Do you have a script for FSBOs? Google it. Do you have a script? Google it. How do I run Facebook ads? Google it. How do I Google it? Google it. How you show up is not as important, or how you're planning to get to your goal. How you plan to get there. Your strategy barely matters. It's only about 10% of your success. 80% is who shows up. Your psychology, your mindset, your mental fortitude, your courage, your toughness, your ability to face fear, your ability to go out, kick butt, take names, no holds barred, keep going in the face of challenge and rejection and difficulty and obstacles. That is 80% of your success. Strategy, 10%. The other 10% is execution. But everybody spends so much time on strategy. Oh, you know what? I need to get better at Facebook ads. I need to get better at this. How do I do that? How do I do that? Google it. You're smart enough to figure it out. The more important thing is, why aren't you doing it? How are you showing up? Who's showing up to run your business? And here's the key question. Is the person that you have been in the past, is the person that you have been in 2016, 2017, 2018, is that really the person you want in control of your 2019 and beyond? Or does that person need to get better? Does that person need to level up? Does that person need to become a better leader? Does that person need to face their fears? Does that person need to develop the muscle of courage? Does that person need to become a better person? Because who you are now is the current person who's in control of your future. So if you're not happy with the present that you have, you need to change the person who's driving the ship. Who you are, who shows up matters more than how you plan to get there, because the strategy will change. The strategy is going to evolve. The strategy is going to adapt. Almost, it seems, at times, it'll adapt monthly. It'll adapt quarterly. Sometimes you're like, it's adapting daily right now, because the strategy is not set in stone. The strategy's got to evolve. Think of it from a football. I love football. That's kind of like the one sport I watch. I love football. And the interesting thing about football is you can put together this incredible game plan, this incredible strategy for how the game is going to go. And then the minute you get on that field, you can pretty much take that strategy, chuck it out the window. And now what you have to do is adapt, evolve, and change that strategy. And if who is driving the bus isn't who needs to be in charge of that strategy, the adaptations to the strategy, the adaptations that they're going to be making are going to not serve you. So if who you've been is not who you want in control of your future, you've got to change that person. And so here's what I can tell you. The people who win in 2019 are going to share three traits of the people who are going to win in 2019. And this is where you have a chance to develop them. Number one, they are decisively committed to their goal. Decisively committed to their goal. Now, what do I mean by that? Number one, they know what they want. And they're like a dog on a bone. They're going to make it happen come hell or high water. They're like, this is my dream. This is what I want. I'm going to make it happen. But then more than just the commitment, they're spring-loaded to action. They're decisive. They move. See, what we see when people come into our program is when they start with us, we're going to evolve their business model. We're going to change the way they lead. We're going to change their structure. We're going to change a lot about the way they show up, who they are, the people on their team, how they're showing up, or if they don't have a team, maybe helping them build it, or if they don't want to build a team, changing how they're structuring things. And what happens is you're going to have to be making throughout the course of your business hundreds, if not thousands of decisions. And if you can't make decisions quickly, you're going to get left behind because the world is moving faster, not slower. And in a world that is moving faster or slower, do you need to be able to make decisions more quickly or more slowly? Which do you think is going to serve you better? Punch it into the chat. Which one is going to serve you better? The ability to act quickly and be decisive, or the ability to whip out your spreadsheets and get stuck in analysis paralysis and be like, oh, I don't know, maybe I can fix that person. Oh, I don't know. It's such a hard decision. Yeah, it's a hard decision, one of many you're going to have to make. So get good at making decisions quickly. Either you're exercising the muscle of procrastination or you're exercising the muscle of decisiveness. Please write that down. Either I'm executing the muscle of decisiveness or I'm exercising the muscle of procrastination. Which one have you been exercising? But which one's going to serve you? And I'm seeing the quickly rolling in here. I love that. Absolutely. It's about your ability to act quickly. Be decisive. Those are going to be the people who win. So are you decisively committed to your goal? Number 2, second trait is they're resourceful. The people who win in 2019 and beyond are going to be resourceful. They're not going to be like, oh gosh, I just need somebody to show me exactly how to do something. I can't run Facebook ads until I learn exactly how to do it. Or you Google it, you stay up late and you figure it out so that you don't have to keep staying up late. Look, I'm okay if you work late for a season, but if your season has now been 8 years, it's no longer a season, it's a lifestyle. I'm not saying you never work hard. I'm not saying you never work late. I'm not saying you never work weekends. What I'm saying is that you do it strategically so that you don't have to keep doing it. They get resourceful, they get creative, they're solution-oriented, not problem-minded. Too many people focus on the problems and the challenges and the how do I need somebody to give me the easy button. Why can't somebody just lay it all out for me? Can somebody just give me all the emails I should send? Can somebody just give me a listing presentation? Can somebody just give me the exact words I should use? And here's what happens. We used to do that, by the way, and we still have stuff that we give to our clients, but here's what I can tell you. We used to do that because we thought that's what everybody needed. And then we started giving it to them. And you know what we realized? Nobody used it. Why? Not because it wasn't good, because it wasn't them. And they go, well, that's good, but that doesn't sound like me, so I need to change it. And they would just go rewrite it, or they would create their own, or they would do their own thing. And then they realized that it was in doing it their own way, that's where they really started to succeed. But the more they wanted somebody to just hand them a business in a box, the more they were not getting resourceful. They weren't getting creative. They weren't solving problems. They weren't solution oriented. They were problem minded and they were struggling. They were plateauing. And so what we see is it's the people who are like, they're like, wait a minute, I'm smart enough to figure this out. I'm a freaking smart person. And Google's an amazing resource and YouTube is an amazing resource on how to do things. I need a script. Go find a script. You're not going to like it anyway, so just rewrite it, but learn from it, rewrite it, make it your own. You're not going to find an email template that is all written for you. You're not going to that stuff, even if it's there, doesn't work. You've got to be the one who starts to get resourceful, get creative, start looking at problems and going, you know what? I'm smart enough to figure it out. I'm resourceful enough to make it work. And if I need something to get there, I'm smart enough to figure out how to get it, or I'm smart enough to figure out how to work without it. Whatever it is, they get resourceful. They get resourceful. The number 3 is this. The people who win in 2019 and beyond, the people who understand that who shows up is more important than how they show up, here's what they have. They have the ability to show up coachable. The ability to show up coachable. Now, that doesn't mean that they're mind-numbed robots or lemmings. What a coachable person does is they stop clinging to what doesn't work. See, when we hear this all the time, people are like, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna try it for 6 more months, and then if it doesn't work, I'll call you guys. And here's what we know. We're like, wait a minute. You've been at the business 18 years and you've been trying it all on your own for 18 years. It hasn't freaking worked so far. What do you think is going to change in the next 6 months? You know, the people who win are the people who empty their cup, who are willing to set aside their pride, their arrogance, their fears, their doubts, and just go, you know what? There is a better way to do this. And I'm not too proud to submit myself to a process, to a system, whether that's ours or somebody else's. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does, because ours is better. But what my point is that if you're gonna invest in coaching, which everybody should be investing in coaching, but if you're going to invest in coaching and then sit back and go, but that's not how I prefer to do it, or you know what, I don't like the way that that's done. Okay, great. Then either find a new program or shut up and submit yourself to the process. Because if you're just clinging to your habits and your patterns and routines that are no longer serving you, you're not showing up coachable. You're showing up arrogant, fearful, prideful, and you are going to be in the same position 6 months from now or a year from now that you are today, struggling with the same things because you still think that it's the how, not the who. You still think that if you're like, I just need the strategy. I'm just going to go out. I'm going to try doing internet leads on my own for 6 months. And then if it doesn't work, I'll come back. And it's like, your problem isn't the internet leads. It's a bunch of other things that you're not willing to be coachable around. And what people understand that win in this business and are going to win in 2019 and that win in our program is they understand this, that there are a million ways to do things. What matters more is that I'm going to show up submitting to a process and becoming better along the way. They understand that the trying it on my own that they've been doing is no longer serving them. And like, you know what? That's just code for I'm stuck in fear and arrogance. That's just code for I can't get out of my own way. That's just code for I'm afraid. That's just code for I don't want to put the hard work in that success requires. Too many people don't want to pay the price for success. They want the shiny cars. They want the big house, the vacations, the retirement accounts. They want all of the things that success brings except the price that success requires. The investment in self, the investment in effort, the investment in focus, the investment in coachability, the investment in mindset, the investment in just the strategy and the game plan and saying, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm not too proud to get help. I'm willing to put the price of success on the table and say, pay that. I will pay that. I'll pay it in effort. I'll pay it in investment in myself and in training and coaching, whatever it takes. I'm willing to pay the price of success because I know what's on the other end of the line. My dream is on the other end. And I read an interesting article this morning. I'm going to be sharing it in our client Facebook group. And it's about, and some thoughts on it. It's about the first guy to free solo climb El Capitan, which is a mountain in Yosemite. And it's like this sheer wall and it's scary. There's photos. It's like freaking scary. But here's what's interesting about this. He's the first guy to free solo it, meaning no ropes, no equipment, no nothing, just him and a rock. It's like insanely crazy. And what I realized as I was reading this article and I was looking at and I was studying this is that the truth about our lives is that our dreams are our own version of El Capitan. You've got a dream that is a mountain that looks scary as hell, that frightens you. And you're staring at the mountain, hoping the mountain gets smaller, hoping the path gets easier. But what if God put that mountain there to increase your faith and your courage? See, too many people look at what they're afraid of and go, if I'm afraid of it, I shouldn't do it. What successful people realize is that they do what scares them, because fear is not something to be run from. It's something to be run towards. And there's a great analogy. And I want you to think about this for just a second. You've got this mountain in front of you. You've got this dream that seems so insurmountable. And God is putting that mountain there, not to make the mountain smaller, not to take your fear away. Instead, he put that there to say, have courage, have faith. Because courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to get on the mountain and climb it in spite of the fact that it scares the hell out of you. Because when you climb it, you expand your comfort zone, and everything you want in life and business that you don't have is found on the outside of your comfort zone. Everything that you want in life and business that you don't have is found on the outside of your comfort zone, which means you must have courage, get used to fear, and expand that comfort zone. Build the muscle of courage. Courage is a muscle that you can get better and better and better at. Think about things that used to scare you that no longer scare you, like jumping off a diving board, driving a car. Remember the first time you got behind the wheel on the freeway? You're like, oh. Now you're like, whatever. Half of you are texting, reading, putting on makeup, shaving, whatever. Now you're on the freeway doing stupid crap because you're like, whatever, it doesn't scare me anymore. But the thing is that everything you want is on the face of that mountain. On the face of that mountain that you are standing at the base of, hoping it gets smaller. And what our clients realize, and what the people who are successful in our program realize, is that the success comes when they get on the mountain. Not when they wait for the fear to go away, but when, in spite of the fear, they step on the mountain and they start climbing the mountain of their dream. There's an interesting analogy. Did you know that in the lion kingdom, in the world of lions, the males are not the hunters. The females are the hunters. So ladies, female power right there, right? So the women are the ones who are the killers, not the male lions. Not that they can't kill, but that's not their job. What happens is the women or the females lie in wait. And the male lion's job is to go to a crowd of animals and roar and scare the animals away from the roar. So the animals hear the roar and they're like, oh no, it's a lion, run the other way. The problem is running the other way runs them straight into the female lions. And they get slaughtered, they get killed. And if they just understood that their safest chance, their best chance of survival would be to run toward the roar, they would win. See, the people who win in 2019 no longer run from the roar. They no longer stand at the base of the mountain looking up at it going, get smaller, get smaller, get smaller. They stand up looking at it going, keep roaring, baby. I'm running at you. I'm climbing. I'm getting on this mountain and we're climbing this sucker. Because my dreams, everything I want is on the other side. It's at the top of this mountain. But along the way, I'm going to change. I'm going to grow. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to have fun because the fun is in the climb. And they enjoy the climb. They enjoy the challenges. They embrace them because that's where the growth happens. So guys, here's what I want to leave you with. If you've been struggling, if 2018 didn't work out the way you want, or you're looking at 2019 going, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if it's fear. I've got doubt, I've got anxiety, or man, I did great in 2018, but can I keep that rolling in 20? How do I get better? How do I make it even more impactful? How do I get back my time? If you are tired of worrying about 2019, if you're tired of how many hours you're working, being overworked and underpaid, if you're burnt out, or you're worried that you're becoming burnt out, or you're looking at the market and going, oh gosh, if it shifts, what do I do? What I want you to do, I want you to book a call with my team and me. We are swamped right now. So I'm actually getting on the phone with a lot of you. So I've opened up time in my schedule. My team reached out and they're like, we're full. Can you open up time in your, so I'm getting on the phone. So some of you are actually going to get on the phone with me personally. Some of you are going to get on the phone with my team. Doesn't matter. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk with you about your business. Because 2018, whether it was your best year, your worst year, or somewhere in between, that doesn't have to define what 2019 is going to be. We can make it better. We can show you how to close that gap. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get on the phone with you for 60 minutes and we're going to talk with you about where your business is at, where you're headed. We're going to help you put together a game plan to close that gap between where you are and where you want to be. And if that path runs through us, we'll show you what that looks like. And if not, we'll tell you that too. We're the first people to tell you that not everybody is a fit for our program, and we are not the right company for everybody. Not everybody's ready for us, and that's okay. And if you're not, we'll tell you that, and we'll point you in the right direction so that you leave with a clear understanding of what you need to do in 2019 to make it your best year yet and position yourself to win, whether the market's up, down, sideways, or anywhere in between. So what I want you to do, go to travisrobertson.com/call, travisrobertson.com/call. And here's what I can promise you. This will be the best 60 minutes you've invested on your business planning 2019. This is going to be the best 60 minutes you've invested planning your 2019, because the clarity you're going to come out of that call with is going to be night and day from what you walk in with. And that alone is worth the investment of the time. The clarity, the understanding, got it. I know what I need to do. I know what it's going to take for me to make 2019 my best year yet. We're going to show you how to do that. And I can promise you this too. Whatever your problems, whatever your challenges, nothing surprises us anymore. We've been doing this a long time. We've heard it, we've seen it, we know how to overcome it. So nothing scares us. Nothing is going to, you can't say something that we're going to be like, wow, that's a new one. I mean, maybe there's one of you that's got something like so weird that we're like, okay, well, that is actually new. But it takes a lot to really catch us off guard. We've seen these challenges. We know what they are. We know how to overcome them. And so we're going to show you what that looks like. And if you've been on other coaching companies' calls, you're probably like, oh, this is just a high pressure thing where they're going to swear at me and yell at me and pound and ground me into the submission. And I'm going to sign up for something I don't really want or don't really need, or they're just going to make me feel guilty. And that's not how we roll. Look, here's the truth, guys. We're not here to sell you anything. Either you want your dream or you don't. If we want your dream more than you, you're not a fit for our program. And we'll tell you that. If we have to spend time convincing you or selling you like other companies do, what they're basically saying is they want your dream more than you do. We don't play that game. If you want your dream, we'll show you how to get it, whether that's with us or some other platform or some other company or some other path. We'll tell you, because our goal is to help you get your dream if that's what you really want. So either you want your dream or you don't. And if you want it, get on the phone with my team, because we can help you get it, whether that's with us or a path that doesn't include us. We're okay either way. So travisrobertson.com/call. And let me end with this, guys. Right now, you've got a mountain. You're El Capitan. And that mountain is staring you in the face, challenging you, calling you, begging you to get the heck on that mountain. To not wait till the fear goes away. To not wait until, okay, cool, I've got my safety nets. I've got everything I need. It's all figured out. I've got this perfect plan, perfect path up. The mountain is saying, get on the mountain. Climb it. Have courage. Have faith. Step into the fear. Don't run from it. If you're afraid of something, do it. If it scares the hell out of you, good. Run to it. If you hear a roar, run to it. Because life, success, is running towards the roar. It's climbing on the mountain. Because if you stay on the ground, you will start to resent the dirt. You'll start to resent the safety of the dirt and the grass and the trees. And you'll get to the end of your life when you're no longer able to climb the mountain. And it'll stare at you. It'll still be there, still calling to you, still begging you to get on the mountain. Except you won't be able to anymore. And you'll regret what you didn't do, not what you did do. You'll never regret what you attempt, only what you let scare you out of trying. So do not let fear drive your future. Exercise the muscle of decisiveness and decide right now to run towards the roar, to climb on that mountain and make 2019 your best year yet. Guys, I love you. We're here to support you. Book a call with me and my team. We'll get on the phone with you. We'll help you one way or another. We want you to win. And we're going to make sure that that happens. Make it a powerful week. Have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas to those of you that celebrate. Happy Hanukkah, though I believe that's now over. Kwanzaa, whatever it is. Just enjoy the season. Enjoy the time. We might do one more of these before 2019, or we may kick it off in 2019 again. But in the interim, guys, oh no, we have an interview next week. So we're doing a really kick butt interview next week. And so I'm not going to say who it is in case we have to change the person, because sometimes we get people who have to move schedules, so we have to move people around. But we've got a really kick butt interview we're scheduling for next week with somebody who's crushing it. We're going to walk through how that person's doing it. So got some really cool stuff lined up for you guys in 2019 and beyond. So it is an honor and a blessing to serve you. Thank you for investing the time with me here today. Go make it a powerful week. Go serve your family, serve your dream, climb the mountain, run to the roar. You guys, love you. Have a great week. See, this is where I actually don't know how to turn this off. So if you're still on the line, you get to watch me fumble around this new software I'm trying to oh, there it is. Finish. Bye, you guys.